Okay, Andrew, the end of the day's play, day 2 at Sydney. Overnight, from day 1, Australia 130 for 4. They ended on 280 all out, and England, by the close of play, had reached 160 for 3. Fascinating day's Test cricket. What do you think of Australia, first of all, in the morning?
Well, I think it's in a way quite nice that Australia are putting up a little bit more of a fight in this one than they did in Melbourne. We've got quite a good Test match going on, judging by the first 2 days. Australia this morning, their batting, their middle order collapsed as expected. Smith, who moved down to number 7, also didn't bowl, so really not quite sure what the purpose of him is in the team, as he got out cheaply again. Haddin and Hussey got out quite cheaply, which was fantastic for us because we thought they were going to make a good stand. But then Mitchell Johnson and Hilfenhaus for the 9th wicket put on a big score, started hitting it all over the place. Hilfenhaus even hit a 6 off Bresnan, which was a bit of a shock. And the tail really wagged, allowing them to get sort of 80 or so runs more than we'd hoped. They certainly put up a bit more fight than we've been used to seeing from them.
And a quick word on the key Australian wicket in this series, which is of course Michael Hussey. A bit of great captaincy and a magic bit of bowling.
Yeah, that was Anderson, wasn't it? It was Collingwood, right. So Collingwood came into bowl and sort of rolled it down and took a wicket. So well done to Collingwood, yeah.
The key wicket in the Australian batting lineup, finkled out by Paul Collingwood this morning. And then chasing 280, England came out all guns blazing.
Yeah, Andrew Strauss, I'm really not quite sure what he had for his lunch, but he was going at more than a run a ball for his 60 runs. He also hit a 6, so 6s all over the place today. Cook looked very, very solid. Strauss playing much more fluid. Shame he got out. Trott came and went very quickly after doing a little bit of gardening. Peterson looked, typically Peterson, he looked fantastic, looked very stylish, was playing really sensibly. They brought on Beer for his debut bowl as a spinner. He looked good. Peterson took him on a few times, but also left quite a lot that he didn't need to hit. And then ridiculously got out right at the end of the day trying to pull Mitchell Johnson and got caught in the deep, as Peterson tends to do on occasions. So that was very frustrating.
And talking of Michael Beer, he bowled quite well, I thought, on his debut, and got a bit unlucky with a moment of controversy when Alastair Cook was originally given out and then reprieved.
Yeah, second time it's happened this series. Very interesting situation where he tried to hit Beer, didn't quite time it correctly, caught out, was walking off the pitch, and Peterson had to run after him and tell him to come back because Ali Ndar was sending it for a referral. Turned out to be quite a correct decision because it was a big no ball. Beer looked absolutely gutted, did feel a little bit sorry for him when it's going to be his first Test wicket, but good to see right decisions being made, even if it's in quite a roundabout way, I believe.
And so tomorrow, we've got a finely balanced Test match now. England still around about 100 runs behind, a bit more, 120 runs behind the Australian total. But with Cook in and looking set, still some batting to come, Collingwood, Bell, Pryor, and then the lower order. You know, what are your thoughts for the rest of this Test match?
Well, it really could go either way, the situation it's in. I would be very disappointed if England didn't end with a first innings lead from the position they're in. Like you say, still got batting really all the way down, including Swan, who's now going to come in at 10, as Jimmy Anderson's in at night watchman at the moment. Should get a first innings lead, but there's no guarantees in this game, is there? They could end up behind. I think it's going to go all the way. I think this is going to be very nip and tuck. Continue in the same fashion today, one team having a little spell, getting ahead, the other team pulling them back, as we saw with Australia's tail this morning. But I'm still predicting England victory.
And just to end on a note to say that as good as this Test match is going on, the one currently going on in Cape Town, surely even better in terms of the quality and the drama.
Well, we're seeing, aren't we, the world's #1, arguably greatest ever batsman competing against the world's #1 bowler. I don't know if he's about to come up at the moment.
No, we have Paul Harris, who is a long way from being the world's #1 bowler.
But Dale Steyn swinging it an absolute mile, taking 3 or 4 wickets just while we've been sitting here. But Sachin Tendulkar continues to stay strong. And it's probably worth mentioning a fantastic umpiring decision just now by Ian Gould, when the whole of South Africa was convinced Sachin had edged it, but it turned out that it hit his stumps, although did not knock the bails off. Incredible umpiring.
And just to dwell on the umpiring point actually for a minute, the umpire decision review system, or what I like to refer to as the nonsense technological infringement on the game of cricket, has yet to be used in the 2 days of this Sydney Test match. Is that good umpiring, or simply that the players are keeping them in reserve, do you think?
I think the players have been perhaps a bit erring on the side of caution in their reviews, but I think it's also been, just perhaps by coincidence, that there hasn't been that many controversial decisions. I can't remember 2 LBW appeals that were close, or too many nicks that weren't given. I was talking to Matt when Australia were onto their last 2 wickets and still had their 2 referrals, and said, well, they could, even if he's clean bowled, they could just refer it and hope that it's a no ball, but probably for the good of the game they decided better off as doing that. So congratulations to Australia for that.
Okay, well we await tomorrow with great interest and hopefully sunshine.